A study by the North Korean Review has found that many adults inside the country are addicted to the drug crystal meth. I'm Deborah Kan. Joining me now is Seoul Bureau Chief Alastair Gale. Okay, Alastair, I have to say I was pretty surprised to hear about this story. How accessible is crystal meth inside one of the most closed-off countries in the world?
Well, Deborah, what we've been reporting on is this study that's been the first kind of systematic look at the issue of crystal meth in North Korea. And it's focused on the northeast of the country, and that seems to be where the epidemic is at its worst. And this goes back to in the early 2000s, around 2004, the North Korean government set up crystal meth production facilities. The country has long had a drug export business. Previously, going back to the 1970s, it was exporting things like opium. But in the early 2000s, it moved into crystal meth production. And this is another way for the North Korean regime to secure foreign currency. As we all know, it's short of reserves. So this was set up by the government. It only seems to have been in operation officially for a couple of years. And then it was shut down for a reason that isn't clear. But what happened is that many of the people that worked in these drug production facilities then went into freelance businesses and set up their own, home laboratories where it's relatively easy to make this drug. And what happened was that the drug has become popular, firstly amongst the elite in North Korea, those who have money, have power, and then it's gradually spread through other strata in society. And where things are really bad are in the far northeast of the country, where the drug production was first set up.
Okay, and so, I guess one thing that occurred to me is you say, originally it started with the elite, but it's now trickled down to other people, other members of society. So where do people get the money to really afford to support a drug habit?
Well, of course, if you're a drug addict, you have to find a way to feed that habit. So you'll find ways to get the money to do it. Now, what we hear from this report, we've spoken to defectors ourselves, is that there are outlets, in most towns where you can buy small amounts of the drug for not much money, and this is just another part of kind of fraying of North Korean society, where you're seeing entrepreneurs essentially who have set up drug production units, which will sell you. People will find ways to get the money together to feed their habit. So it's very widespread. I spoke to a woman a couple of weeks ago who's from a town in the northeast, and she reckons about 80% of the people in her town have used crystal meth. And this study is estimating that around 40 to 50% of the population in the northeast of the country are actually addicted to this.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, it's known to be a very highly addictive drug. So any indication or any stories of people actually receiving help inside the country? I mean, now that it's becoming more aware outside North Korea, has the government allowed anyone to really go in and offer any help, or is there any assistance on the ground in North Korea?
No, there isn't. I mean, this is not something that the North Korean government is able to deal with. It hasn't shown, from what we know, made any efforts to tackle the issue. It does seem by closing down the official production units, it's lost the stamp of approval from the government. But what we hear is that they haven't been very successful because this epidemic has been spreading. It's also creating a problem here in South Korea because North Koreans who make it here to the south, some of them still have this addiction, so it's something that the South Korean government has to find ways of dealing with it. And at the moment, it seems it's still struggling with that issue.
Okay, thanks very much, Alastair Gale. To read more on this story, you could go to Korea Real Time on WSJ.com. I'm Deborah Kan.